I wanted to jump in and give you some important information that I believe everyone needs to know. Um, this is the Kitsap Winter Weather Advisory from the Conduit. It is 12 p.m. in Kitsap County. It is Christmas Eve, Friday, December 23rd. It is 33 degrees outside. The conditions are still very bad, so don't go out if you don't have to. So I'm going to share a number of things with you today, so you have this information. I'm also going to put some things in the chat for you. First thing that I want to share for those of you that rely upon public transportation, and you can get this information from their website, www.kitsaptransit.com. And if you go to their main page, you can click on the link. I just put the link right there for service and /no dash service. So you can get this info right here. However, this is snow and extreme weather, and you can click the map here to see their real-time interactive map. If don't display, click on show all in the left. If my route status is snow, what does that mean? You can learn how they operate during extreme weather by clicking there. If we activate our emergency service plan, routed buses will operate only on main roads, and you can click that here. And then there are fare-free trips to the warming center. And so here you will see all services canceled. All services canceled due to severe weather. Bus service has been temporarily scaled back for the safety of our passengers and operators. Visit the emergency service page for more information. But as you can see here, all routes canceled. All routes canceled. All right. So you need to know that before you go and venture out. Maybe your employer is open and you don't have a way to get there. Okay. Local and fast ferries are canceled this time. Okay. Routed buses, a fixed route are all fixed routes are canceled at this time. Worker driver buses, click here to see the status. Access. So if you are reliant upon access, we will attempt to make a life-sustaining trips on access services. Please contact Access Department at 1-800-422-2877 to see if service is possible in your area. And dial-a-ride is canceled until further service. Hey there, Mr. Dent. So this is really important that you know this, that you check this, and stay updated with it. All right. So that is Kitsap Transit there. Again, the conditions are pretty harsh. And speaking of Mr. Dent, let me go ahead and pull up some stuff that he was gracious enough to send us. As you know, we are transporting folks to the severe weather shelter, and the conditions out there are not great. So you do, again, need to try to stay safe as much as you can. Hold on there. We pause that. Okay. Might not let me pause it there. Open, please. And you can see the conditions here. And the conditions out on the road are not fantastic. Let me go ahead and pause that. All right. And then let me go ahead and push this over here. Let me push this over here. And then do that over there. And then let me see if I can share that. There we go. All right. So I'm going to turn my camera off. And I'm big enough there. Let's see. Does that make me? Yeah, there we go. That's about the same there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the G2 drivers are facing out there in these conditions, trying to ensure that folks get to the severe weather shelter. Well, as you can see, I'm out here in Kitsap County today, in Bremerton at this very moment,
and you can see the conditions here. And the conditions out on the road are not fantastic. Um, I've been transporting clients since about 2:30 this morning for severe weather shelter for G2 for Kitsap mental health. As you can see, I'm showing you pictures of the van, ice on it, and this is what it looks like. When you're out here, you're doing the work, and it doesn't matter what the weather does. The work still needs to be done. The people still need to be helped. So that's what we're doing. And this is just a quick video. Thanks.
All right, so we appreciate Rob and Ernest and Mark and Erica and all of our drivers on the road, getting folks where they need to go during this time. Give them the horn. That is a big deal, as no one should be out in these conditions. And in regards to Kitsap mental health, right? Folks need services, but in order for those services to be provided, the workers have to get there. So we're also providing that service to Kitsap Mental Health. Shout out to Kitsap Mental Health. So the work goes on, but we are only operating in those also conditions, right? So uh, just trying to make sure that we uh, keep folks alive is our main concern, and they're not out here in these conditions. And our brave drivers are out here transporting folks. So, Rob, if you are on, I think you were sharing that G2 transported, what was that, 48 souls to the severe weather shelter a couple days ago, as soon as this temperature and this ice started to hit. And that just kind of lets you know the need and the amount of people that are unhoused on top of the ones that are already staying at Salvation Army or at the rescue mission and some other locations where they're already uh, have secured housing for those that are unhoused. So that the need is great. It is tremendously important. And yeah, thank you for clarifying that for me, Rob. Uh, it's tough, right? Rob has been out at Bainbridge Island. I think Rob was out on the streets at 3 a.m. this morning, out at Bainbridge, getting folks to staff the severe weather shelter, right? So even those folks have to get to the shelter to provide the service for those that are unhoused. So Rob was out at 3 a.m. this morning out at Bainbridge Island, getting one of the shelter volunteers there. So shout out to them. Shout out to our drivers. I'm tremendously proud of all of the folks at G2. The work that they do is tireless. And I'm going to say it here. I might say it tomorrow. You know, this is the day before Christmas Eve is a day that everyone knows, but they don't know that it is Rob and Stephanie Dent's wedding anniversary. And tomorrow they will celebrate 30 years. That's right. I skipped the record. 30 years. That's 30 horns, 30 horns, and an applause. Many of you have not been alive for 30 years. Most of us cannot name anything of significance that we have done for 30 years. 30 years of marriage. So, congratulations on being married and together for so long, going through the ups and downs. As I know you two, hasn't always been easy, as it is never easy when you're in a relationship and you have to recommit all the time and work through those things. And, you know, relationships are very interesting in the fact that it's not just you, right? You go through your own growth, you go through your own stressors, your own problems, and then to take that journey with someone else that may not always be having that same growth at the same pace as you are. You may go through things differently. Um, and so there's so many different challenges and issues that can be put in front of a couple that serves to dismantle their union, and to make it this far and going strong is a real testament. And if there is any hope uh, for the institution of marriage, that would definitely be paragon. If you look it up in the dictionary, you will see that. So, congratulations to Rob and Stephanie for 30 years. Wow, that's amazing. Their son is they've been married longer than their son has been alive, and he is an adult male. Again, impressive, impressive. You see Rob and Stephanie; they are a dynamic duo of G2, and they make a great team, and they have carried the organization from its inception. And so I just want to say thank you for your steadfast and tireless service. Uh, you can look back at all the lives and folks that you have impacted, whether it is, and this is about weather advisory, getting folk volunteers to the emergency weather shelters, getting the unhoused sheltered, getting employees to Kitsap Mental Health, getting other workers to their job, getting folks home. And that's just, a slow Tuesday, right? A Thursday, if you will, but it going into Friday. Uh, and that's the work, and they do the work. And so, whether it's transportation or case management or feeding folks that are food insecure, doing concessions, there's just so many different things. Um, True testament to folks that dare to change the world and change their community and are tireless. And we need a lot more of those folks like that. So, salute to you both. You have my eternal love. So let's go ahead and continue on, but I wanted to slip that in there. I'm pretty slick because I think that's important, especially during this time, right? It's holiday time, it's winter time, and these conditions are wow, just wow. All right. So on the thumbnail that you were looking at, and shout out to Mark from Resilient Ecosystems, as he likes to share this information out and make sure that people have what they need to be ready. What is freezing rain? Understanding winter weather. Freezing rain is liquid precipitation that freezes on contact with cold surfaces. Freezes on contact. Okay. I actually didn't know that. As it enters a shallow layer of temperatures at or below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It is approximately 33 degrees right now, and it just hit that, and it's 12:13. Near the surface, this creates a dangerous coating of ice on the roads, walkways, trees, and power lines. And there's kind of an image there of what that looks like. If you want to get more information, you can go to weather.gov/winter for more information. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the list there. Also, if you have a power outage, there's some tips. You can go to mil.wa.gov/severe dash storm. Okay. And if you check out the Washington Emergency Management Division, it's a great place to go. You can see there are quite a few people that are commenting and sharing and talking about the conditions that are happening here. So, this is something you might want to just be aware of. And there are different tips and things like that in there. So just be careful. And one of the reasons why I wanted to share this is it is my belief that this might not be the only event that we have uh, this winter. So if you remember last year, it started snowing on Christmas Eve, and then we had that cold snap for a little bit. But this started a lot earlier, and it's quite a bit colder. So while it is supposed to warm up here in a few days, I don't think this is the only event that we're going to have. So we may see some things in January, February, and maybe even into March. And so if this caught you unaware, if you didn't think it was going to be this bad, I want you to really learn from this situation and prepare yourself. Make sure you have water. Make sure you're checking your pipes. Make sure that you have some food. Make sure you're taking care of your pets. You have some extra things of that nature. Make sure that if you do have a vehicle, that you have jumper cables, that you maybe have a little sand in the trunk, that you have some water and some food. Because if you do go off the road, it may take a few hours for emergency services to get to you. Maybe keep a blanket or two in your trunk. These are things that you're going to want to keep so that you can stay safe in these conditions, right? You just and if you can, and I know this is a difficult one, try to keep more than a half a tank of gas in your vehicle. Okay. If you can keep your tank on full, even better. I know that's not realistic for so many of us, but try to keep your vehicle filled up. The worst thing that you can do is think, hey, I'm going to run out and I'll just be gone really quick and come back and you're on a quarter tank of gas. And it was like, you know how it is. You're tired. You want to get home. You've been running all day and you're just like, you know what? I'll get gas in the morning before I go out. And then for whatever reason, you end up going out. If you were to get stuck, you may need to keep your car running to keep the heat going. You do not want to be sitting waiting for emergency services in this weather, and you don't have enough gas to keep your car going. Okay, those things are important. You have to adjust for those things as much as you can. Please keep an eye on the long term forecast, and as soon as you see it happening, I know we kind of like to make fun of folks that go crazy as soon as the first snowflake falls. You know, the lines are packed and folks are buying 50 rolls of toilet paper and everything else. I want you to go to that extreme, but I do want you to be prepared, right? There has to be something that you do in the middle that keeps you and your family prepared for times like these. And if it's a thing of, hey, you know what? I can't do it all at once. Maybe what you do is you say, hey, I'm going to create these little short term goals. I get a package of toilet paper. I'm going to put one pack away, one roll away for my emergency storage, one pack of paper towels away for emergency storage. And every time I buy, it's my savings. You know, when the older generation grew up, they said save 10% of your money, save 10% of your toilet paper, save 10% of your paper towels. Make sure that you have some canned food that you can consume in case that's the situation. Make sure that you have some candles. Make sure you have some extra batteries, and you know where those things are. Those This is important. And while you're thinking about that, and we're going to have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we know that you can get things in the off season. We may experience a particularly hot summer this year because that's usually what happens. And we know what happens. There's a run on fans, there's a run on air conditioners. So if you're in any position to take advantage of the great deals of making these purchases during the off season, that's something that you might consider. Generators are great in the winter and they're great in the summer when there's blackouts, brownouts, whatever the case may be. Those are things that you might consider picking up if you are blessed enough to be in that position to do so. Okay. So you got to take care of yourself and your family first, and then try to take care of others second. All right. So, anyway, I don't want to stay on here too long, but I did want to just share this information out to you. You have the links for Kitsap Transit. You have weather.gov so that you can get your local forecast. And then you also have your power outage information. When you go to weather.gov, there'll be other tips and tricks for you to stay safe during this time. Don't forget about your pets. Check in with each other. Talk. Stay hydrated. Stay warm. And stay indoors unless you absolutely have to go out. All right. Okay. And with that, I hope that you have a good, safe holiday. And 211, the severe weather shelter, will still be open. We are still transporting folks there as we were taking folks to different places this morning. We'll be operating this evening. There's still a winter storm advisory in effect. So please govern yourselves accordingly. You can always reach out to us, and we will try to direct you to where you can get the latest and greatest information. All right. And with that, I am Marwan Cameron. This is the Conduit. You will see me again before the end of the new year. So I'm not going to say anything like, hey, this is our last show before the new year. I'll constantly be coming on as it goes because we are manning the lighthouse. All right. So with that, we will see you a little bit later.